Hey, welcome back to Aaliyah Inspires Finance, where we turn your early retirement dreams into actionable plans. So, I'm Aaliyah. This podcast is here to help you build a secure financial future. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, today we're actually diving into something that might just change your entire perspective on retirement planning. It's called the 25X rule. And you know that moment when you're standing in line for your morning coffee and you're just thinking to yourself, how many more years of the daily grind do I have left? Right? So, what if I told you there's a simple formula that could help you figure out exactly when you can break free from that routine? Okay, so just stay with me here. In the next couple minutes, you're going to learn how to calculate your magic financial independence number to take control, right? So last week, I was actually chatting with a good friend of mine. She's a software engineer. She makes about six figures or whatever, but she just felt completely lost about how much she actually needed to retire early. And this sounds familiar, doesn't it? But the beauty of the 25X rule, it cuts through all of that confusion, gives you a clear target to aim for. Before we dive into the numbers, let's understand why this rule actually exists and why it's become a cornerstone for people seeking to retire early, right? So at its heart, the 25X rule states that you need 25 times your annual expenses saved up to retire comfortably. So this rule was actually closely tied to the 4% rule, if you ever heard of it. So it suggests you can safely withdraw 4% of your investment portfolio every year without running out of money. And here's why it works. So 25 is it's the inverse of 4%. All right. So we're going to break this down with real numbers. So let's say you spend $40,000 annually. So your FIRE number would be 1 million. So that's 40,000 times 25, right? So if you spend 60,000, you're looking at 1.5. And if you spend 100,000 a year, so your target would be 2.5, right? So let's kind of get practical here. So I actually want you to do yourself a favor. Go ahead, just go grab a pen and a paper. Yep, like right now, just go ahead and do that. And I'm gonna wait for you. Okay, you got it? All right, so let's calculate your personal FIRE number together, okay? So the first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna track your current annual expenses. So how much do you spend per year? You need to know that number, okay? Number two, you want to consider what expenses might actually change in retirement. So if you're currently paying a mortgage, but you plan to be mortgage free, you want to take that into account. All right. And number three, you're going to add in a buffer for healthcare and those unexpected costs. And then you take that number. So you multiply that final number by 25. And this is an estimate, right? So this is just giving you a good starting base. And we're going to make it even simpler, right? For those who don't want to do all that, multiply your current salary by 25. Okay. So if whatever salary you're making right now, this is what you're living off of to manage your lifestyle right now. So just multiply that by 25. Easy, right? And just remember, this isn't just about the math. It's about understanding what kind of lifestyle you want in retirement. Are you aiming for lean FIRE? So you'll have minimal expenses, or do you want fat FIRE with more luxuries, right? So your target number should reflect your dreams. But here's what the 25X rule doesn't actually tell you. So it's really important to understand it doesn't take into account inflation. So it assumes a relatively stable market. That's why it's an estimate, right? So it doesn't consider major life changes and healthcare costs. That's why I always recommend putting in that buffer. So if your calculated FIRE number is a 1 million, you might consider aiming for 1.2 or 1.3. So you just have that extra security. And this is an estimate. It's going to change over time as life changes, right? And your FIRE number is personal. So it should reflect your desired lifestyle. And everybody's goal is going to be different. But just remember, it's a guideline. It's not a guarantee, right? And just regular review of this, and you adjust your plan as you need it. Before we wrap up, I want you to do something right now. If you haven't already, just take out your phone. I know you have it on you. Just go ahead, open that calculator, find your FIRE number. Just that one simple calculation. your annual expenses times 25. Okay, so this is the first step towards your financial independence journey. So if you live in the United States and you want to learn more, all you have to do, click the link in the description wherever you're listening. That's all I have for you today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you later.